absolutely unbelievable. It's a tie game! Woo! Finally! Go Leafs, go! It's not baseball, but let's see a rally. Let's go Leafs!
Woo! Let's go! The Toronto Maple Leafs get back in the win column, and I'm starting to get my voice back. It's a good day. The Toronto Maple Leafs pull ahead against the Philadelphia Flyers in the city of brotherly love by a score of 3-0, and they never looked back here tonight. All around solid team performance from the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight, and it's just a nice feeling heading back home. Short little road trip, a one-game road trip. You don't see that very often, but they head down to Philadelphia, take on the Flyers, and they come out with victory, going back home to play against the Calgary Flames Friday night. Looking good. ASC, great win. It was a great win for the Toronto Maple Leafs. A solid outing. You saw some nice defensive play, and Austin Matthews stood out when you look at the defensive play. He made some solid defensive plays for the Toronto Maple Leafs, getting back there, being the two-way player that you want to see one of your top players be. Your top player. You want to see your top player making those types of plays. It's a lead by example kind of thing, and it trickles down through the rest of your lineup. Tonight, we also saw Justin Holl return to the lineup after being scratched for the past 6 games. He was a bit shaky at the start of the game, but he got back into a groove of it a bit more. He blocked a bunch of shots in this game, so you like to see block shots, and there's been a lot of trade rumors swirling around. I'm sure that'll get brought up in the comment section at some point tonight. Tonight, we didn't see John Tavares play. John Tavares scratched from tonight's lineup. Hopefully, there's no injury concerns here. Hopefully, nothing too major. Just hopefully a rest day for JT. And in his place, we saw Kirill Semyonov make his NHL debut. He was all right, actually. He didn't make a massive impact, but you didn't want him to try to make a massive impact and then let something happen behind him. He didn't make any errors, and that's what you're looking for in your NHL debut. Shot on goal, 3 hits, and not very much time on ice. So he was doing what he could with the amount of time that he was on the ice. So Semyonov, not a bad outing for him. And ASC said Richie had the best game as a Leaf. Yeah, I agree fully. Nick Ritchie, definitely his first game. Definitely his first game. Or not his first game. His best game as a Toronto Maple Leaf. Wow. Nick Ritchie, it's been a tough go for him. He got his first point as a Toronto Maple Leaf tonight. It was an assist. I'm going to make a bold prediction. I've been thinking that Nick Ritchie is going to score, and I'm going to say he's going to score next game when the Calgary Flames are in town against Toronto. You have the Ritchie brothers going up against each other, and Nick Ritchie's been playing with a bit more motivation. He knows that's something that's really wearing on him. He's coming to a new team. He's held pointless through the first 13 games, finally gets an assist in game 14. Going up against his brother on Friday night, I'm going to say he's going to get a goal against the Calgary Flames Friday night. Let's go. What a W. Big dubs. And away from society, you can message me on Twitter at Leafs Media. I have not received any message on Twitter, or you can message me on Instagram at Maple Leafs Media. You know where to find me. Frank Rusty Nails says, Andre Kasha is such a hardworking player. Blocks shots. Brings it every game. I hope the offense continues for him. Andre Kasha, he he got in the right spot with that goal. A sneaky, just snuck behind the defender, got in the right spot, one timer right into the net. And yeah, Andre Kosh is a very hardworking player. He plays with grit and intensity a lot. Plays with his heart on his sleeve, and that's what you want to see. Andre Kasha, he's a solid player for the Maple Leafs here. Oh yeah, Nylander with a little miss on the breakaway uh, for the hat trick. He laughed it off though. That's good that he could laugh that off because at that point it was pretty clear that the Maple Leafs were going to pull away with the victory in this one. Jack Campbell, fantastic outing again for Soup. Soup. Uh, 36 save shutout for Jack Campbell, and this was his second of the season. He's been putting this team on his back this year. Uh, just some fantastic saves, and so often Jack Campbell is making over 30 saves a night, and he's bailing this team out. He's giving them an opportunity to score goals, and honestly, a lot of the time the Maple Leafs haven't been scoring first. Uh, Recently too. A lot of the games that we've seen the Maple Leafs fall behind and they've tried to come back. That's what happened Friday night. Or not Friday night. That's what happened against the LA Kings the other night on Monday night. And you can't fall behind and expect to come back all the time. So it's just not a sustainable way of winning. Honking Antelope said, I said unless we had a shutout tonight, we wouldn't win. Uh, guess we won't find out, but it's not a bad prediction because the Toronto Maple Leafs haven't scored they haven't scored that many goals as of late. So, I mean, when you look at what the Toronto Maple Leafs have been doing, this has been a topic of discussion. The Toronto Maple Leafs, big four, scoring 16 consecutive goals for this team. And they went 5 games without getting any support from anyone else except for the big four. You can look at this two ways. You can say, okay, wow, the big four, William Nylander, John Tavares, Austin Matthews, and Mitch Marner. Wow, they're really stepping it up and they're putting this team on their back. That's a good thing. But that's not how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as no, you need contributions from up and down your entire lineup, especially just throughout in an 82 game season. You're going to need uh, your second, third, fourth line guys to contribute and score more goals. Andre Kasha got that goal in the third period tonight, but 16 consecutive goals over almost 6 games, 5 games, and 5 2/3 of a game without a goal from anyone else except for the big four. It's a bit concerning to me. Who has JVR played with on this team? Riley only. Interesting question. I'd have to think about that. I'd assume Morgan Riley only. Um, yeah, I think Morgan Riley only. Nope. No, he would have played with Wayne Simmons in Philadelphia. Actually, I think he would have played with Simmons in Philadelphia, but I'm not sure. If you go back to when JVR even played in Toronto, I think he actually played with Simmons. JVR, no, Simmons played. JVR played with Matthews, Marner. He played. JVR played with a lot of these guys. I don't know. Yeah, he's been. JVR wasn't here that long ago. It wasn't that long ago that JVR was in Toronto. Uh, 3 stars of the game tonight: William Nylander, Jack Campbell, Andre Kasha. William Nylander, 2 goals tonight. He really took this game, uh, took the game by storm. He gave the Leafs the lead, and he added to the lead for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Jack Campbell held that lead for the Maple Leafs all night long, and then Andre Kasha, he gets the third goal of the game. So 3 stars of the game there for me. What do you think? Who are the 3 stars here tonight? Um, so Yeah, that that's pretty concerning that the Maple Leafs haven't been getting the goal support outside of the big four, but hopefully Andre Kosh's goal tonight sparks something because they really need help outside of the big four. They can't just rely on that every night. They can't rely on four players to do all their scoring. Uh, if you please make sure you smash the like button and hit the notification bell if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're on Facebook, share this video, tell a friend to tell a friend. It all helps out the channel and the brand in a big way. Maple Leafs Media in my second season of doing this. Honking Antelope says Campbell first star, Nylander, and Richie third star. Okay, that's fair. I really liked Nick Ritchie's performance tonight, and that's probably my first time I've said that all season long. Nick Ritchie often has been not noticeable out there. He hasn't been noticeable for the Maple Leafs, and he's a very big guy, so that's concerning. But like when you're that big, you should be standing out for good reasons, but he hasn't been. He hasn't gotten on the score sheet. He got that monkey off of his back. Now let's see if that can help him gain some confidence. He's going up against his brother Friday, and the Calgary Flames roll into town. I expect him to be motivated. I expect him to hopefully use some momentum here. Richie is a big boy. In the playoffs, he'll be scary. Yeah. You know what? Nick Ritchie is he's a big guy. He's a big guy, and we really we need something like we need more sandpaper and grit in the playoffs. That's what we've been needing in the playoffs. And Wayne Simmons wasn't enough of that for the Maple Leafs last year. I don't even want to get into the whole playoff thing again with last season. Don't make me do that. Nick Ritchie in the playoffs should help the Toronto Maple Leafs, but we need to see more from him before we even expect that. So, how's everyone feeling about this Toronto Maple Leafs win over the Philadelphia Flyers? 3-0 over the Philadelphia Flyers. I gotta say, I'm I'm feeling good. I wasn't expecting a 3-0 win tonight, if I'm being honest. I was going into this game a bit down. I was at the Monday night game against the Los Angeles Kings, and that was tough. That was a tough pill to swallow. Uh, 5-1 loss the other night. Yeah, that was tough. Through the many games played so far, what do the Leafs need as trade rumors are picking up? Well, we're going to need to see what happens with Peter Mrazek. Um, Hopefully, he can get healthy. That's a concern, but I don't think we can do anything about that right now, anyways. Um, y- Looking at this team and that stat that I mentioned earlier, that 16 consecutive goals scored by the core four of this team, 5 games without any contributions from anyone else on the score sheet, that's concerning. You might need someone else who can contribute in your forward group. And defensively, I've seen so many trade rumors about Justin Hall, Travis Dermott, but I don't think that the Maple Leafs should part ways with either of those guys, to be honest. I really don't think they should. If anybody goes down with injury, who are you going to if you offload Travis Dermott or Justin Hall? There's not. What's your next option? I don't like it. But what do the Leafs need? They need certainty and goal after Jack Campbell because Jack Campbell's been outstanding. But realistically, how many games can we expect Jack Campbell to play? He's been Like this past week, he has been constantly go, 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 and it's great to see, but that's a lot to ask for Jack Campbell and any goaltender. You need to have a second option, and I don't think Michael Hutchinson is a solid option. We have to trust him. We brought him back for a reason. We have to trust him as our third goalie right now. Give him a chance at least. But I'm not really. I don't think right now you trade. You're looking to trade anything. Ready to offer Campbell Soup 5 million a year for 5 million for 5 years. Lock him up. I mean, I don't think you're signing Jack Campbell for that money right now. Jack Campbell, he's. I know he wants to stay in Toronto. Probably, like he seems like he loves it here. But 5 years, $5 million. I think Jack Campbell's worth definitely more than that. And yeah, I mean, Jack Campbell right now, the way he's performing, I know that the Maple Leafs want to sign him long term and get him locked up, but it's hard to do mid-season when he's performing like this, and you have no other goaltender as your backup right now. Peter Mrazek's injured. Jack Campbell's party would have all the advantage in negotiations right now. So it's a tough situation. I wanna lock up Jack Campbell though. I don't think you do it for that price though, JB. Dermott was great with Bogosian, but Liljegren and Sandin are great together. Honking Antelope says Liljegren and Sandin are great together. Uh, you know, I don't I don't really trust Sandin and Liljegren as a defensive pair. Um, it worries me. It worries me defensively. Defensively, that worries me because yes, they're talented players, they're young players, but they're not defensive players. They're both like to join up on the rush, and they can be defensive liabilities at times when they're playing with like offensive minded. So yes, I like both Liljegren and Sandin, but I don't like them together. Dermott was great with Bogosian, and that's exactly why I like. That's exactly what I would look for if I was to put Sandin with somebody and Liljegren with someone. I want someone like Bogosian with them, uh, more of a defensive stay-at-home guy, someone who's not going to pinch and allow high-scoring opportunities going the other way. Hey Jake, feeling good from the win. I'm quiet. Yeah, there's not much to complain about right now. There's not much to complain about, and that's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to be a Leafs fan tonight. Let's go. Big dubs for the Maple Leafs. They get back in the win column after an ugly loss to Los Angeles Friday or Monday. I keep thinking, why do I keep saying Friday night? Monday night against the Los Angeles Kings. That was a tough one. Frank Rusty Nails says, I think the Leafs need another D depth, another Zach Bogosian. Mrazek, good goalie, but injury prone. Realized that it was a mistake signing and try to move him. That's going to be hard to move Peter Mrazek. And um, yeah, I don't think that they're going to do that. I don't think Mrazek's going anywhere. He's here until his contract expires. Zach Bogosian, if you could get a guy like Zach Bogosian, that'd be great. I wish we could have re signed Zach Bogosian. Another depth defensive player would be a nice luxury to have for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But as it is right now, um, you have a seventh guy, and that could be whoever you pick. It could be Justin Hall, it could be Travis Dermott, it could be Timothy Liljegren or Rasmus Sandin. It could be there could be so many players that are on the outside looking in on that blue line because there's a lot in that group on the fringe of being top six, top seven guy for the Leafs. Maple Leafs are 6-1 in their last seven. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Yeah, Mrazek ain't going anywhere. Peter Mrazek was signed, and he's just signed this offseason. He's not going anywhere. And even if you were magically going to trade Peter Mrazek, now would not be the time to do it when his trade value is completely diminished due to groin injury. Those groin injuries are lingering. I thought it was, I don't know. It's kind of weird that they brought him back for one game and then he got injured again. Maybe the Maple Leafs rushed him back, and groin injuries usually linger. You shouldn't have played him on that one game if you did rush him back. Hurt Locker says from 2-4-1 to 8-5-1 equals 6-1. Last 7. Campbell has been playing lights out. Jack Campbell's put this team on his back. He really has. He's made some massive saves for this team this season. Um, so, yeah, wow. I remember when it was 2-4-1. 2-4-1. That was tough. It was looking ugly in Leafs Nation. It felt like the world was imploding. Leafs Twitter was going crazy all the time. 8-5-1. Okay, feels better. Feels better, but let's not celebrate too much. It's still super early. Feels good though. Jack Campbell's been fantastic. I'm just trying to be kind of even keel here throughout the regular season. I'm trying not to get too excited. I'm trying not to get too down. I think Jack is underrated. Yeah, I think Jack is underrated too. Um, that depends. Like if you, I don't think Jack is underrated in the Toronto media, but outside of Toronto, I think Jack Campbell's definitely underrated. Okay, Frank Rusty Neal says, I want to add if they decide to move Mrazek, it will be at the trade deadline. Uh, don't see it happening necessarily, but you never know, I guess. Christian says, what did you think of Semyonov? I thought he was all right. He didn't make any mistakes. He had 3 hits, a shot on goal. Played just over 11 minutes of ice time tonight, so he made a bit of an impact in the limited role that he had, and he didn't make any critical errors. That's really what you're looking for. He was just someone to fill in on that fourth line, and he did what he was supposed to. So if you haven't, please make sure you smash the like button and hit the notification bell to be notified every time new content's coming out on Maple Leafs Media. Uh, I I've got some vlogs from the games that I'm going to throughout the year, updates on injuries. I'm gonna make a trade rumor video coming up in the near future. These post game live streams, so much more coming out on Maple Leafs Media in the future. Maybe I'll interview some people. I've done a couple interviews on the channel as well. So yeah, stay tuned for more stuff. Check it out, and yeah, thank you very much. JB says might have to put Mrazek on long-term IR list and pick up another goalie. Mrazek's injury right now is 4 weeks, so I don't. I don't. We'll see what happens when he comes back from injury. But if this continues to linger on, then yeah, could be a potential thing. Frank Rusty Nails. I'll also add if Richie doesn't pick. Add Richie if he doesn't pick up his offense. Can't justify paying $2.5 million to non-existent offense, and on the fourth line making that much. That's a great point, Frank. Great point. That yeah, spot on comment. Nick Ritchie has been um, trying to think of the word. He's been irrelevant for this team, really, other than the $2.5 million that he's making throughout most of the season. But tonight he was good. He was good tonight. He was good tonight, and I want to see that continue from Nick Ritchie. I love the size that he brings to this team. I want to see him use that size. I want to see him score some more goals, get in front of the net, be tough, be a gritty sandpaper player. Nick Ritchie has all the tools to do it. He just needs to actually contribute and do it. We want to see the results. I'm with you, Nick, or Frank. What'd everyone think of Justin Hall returning to the lineup tonight after being scratched for 6 games? 6 games being scratched. Uh, that's longer than expected for Justin Hall. Definitely longer than expected for Justin Hall to be out of the lineup, but he's been really shaky to start this season. There's no other way to put it. He's been a liability for the Leafs early on, and it appeared that Jake Muzzin was also really having a bad start to the season, and Jake Muzzin's performance really seemed to affect Justin Hall's performance. So I wouldn't say that Justin Hall had a great game. I'd say that he made some block shots. He did some things okay, but for the most part, he looked rather shaky in this game. Uh, I expect more from Justin Hall because we've seen him do more, and we need him to be a shutdown defender on this team. We need Justin Hall to step up. We need to see him step up his performance, and it would be ideal if we could get him in a shutdown role with Jake Muzzin again. JB says Dubas might be interested in trading Hall for Domingue, Louis Domingue, the Pengs goaltender, making 750K salary dump on Hall. I did see this somewhere too, and I get that. I get that the gist of it, and I'm not a big fan of it because I'd rather keep Justin Hall as a defensive depth option. Even if he's not playing, he's a defensive depth option that the Maple Leafs need. The Maple Leafs need a 7th defender in case someone goes down. And it's not really in case someone goes down. Someone is going to go down this year. Every year there's injuries on every team. Every team has injuries every single season. So we need Justin Hall to perform, and we need him to be here as our 7th defender. Otherwise, we need to get another 7th defender, and I don't know who that's going to be. So if the Leafs can pull off a trade for Hall and bring someone else in, then sure. But right now, I don't think it's a good idea until you can actually do that. Rusty Neal says the past leg and groin injuries to Muzzin have slowed him down. Hall is looking out of place and nervous out there. Well, Jake Muzzin's always been slow, but yeah, he it could definitely be a factor in his performance so far this season. I think it's been gradually getting a bit better over the past few games. But that kind of goes to what I was saying. Like Jake Muzzin in the last 2 playoffs got injured. If you had a guy like Justin Hall to be your 7th defender, it's not a bad 7th option. Hall is looking out of place and nervous out there. And he was probably nervous for sure. He was definitely nervous out there tonight. Uh, definitely tonight. When you're just scratched from the lineup for 6 games and trying to fight for your spot, you're definitely going to be nervous. And he let that show out there tonight. Christian says Muzzin carried Hall. He looks lost out there when Muzzin isn't playing well. That's a spot on. Perfect way to put it, Christian. Perfect way to put it. And on that note, we're gonna end this post-game show. So Friday night, the Toronto Maple Leafs, Calgary Flames in Toronto at Scotiabank Arena. Big dubs for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. 3-0 over the Philadelphia Flyers, getting back in the win column after an ugly L to the Los Angeles Kings Monday night. Finally got it right there. So stay tuned for more content on Maple Leafs Media. As always, I'm your guy, Jake. Thank you for watching. Go Leafs, go!